Steve Stoute and Dame Dash. It seems like we've been talking about Dame Dash for a long time. I almost don't even want to talk about Dame anymore because, and it's not that Dame is not entertaining to talk about. It's more or less about the idea that it just seemed like we just talking about Dame. Fanny P says, Anton, how's your 9 to 5 going? It's going phenomenal. It's going incredible. I just got a bonus check the other week. I think I got Hennessy privilege. Your car? Thank you for asking. Let me see something. Don't we got some Hennessy? Oh no, it's not Hennessy privilege. It's Hennessy white. I think it's Hennessy white. Is it Hennessy white, Rita? Where is it at? I don't see it. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I don't have Hennessy privilege. Put your tatas up. That's what I said. Hold on. Walking around with your tatas out. I don't know what the difference in the taste is. I've never tasted Hennessy White. Hennessy White is a 25th anniversary. This is what it looked like. Have y'all ever had this, Hennessy White? The bottle is weird. It just came over here. Yeah. Anyways, I've never had Douce. I've never had Douce. No, I'm not mixing them. They said mix them. No, you can't. You can't mix them. Any, huh? Yeah, people in the chat talking about go ahead and mix them. I've never tasted Shannon Sharp Laportier. Do we already got Hennessy in here though? All right. Well, but you don't really drink Hennessy though. So I don't know why I would want to even leave this here. I'm taking this downtown because I already got bottles in the studio, so I'm gonna just take this into the.
Why don't you leave that here for what you hear in the room? So you got a smaller one.
Cause that's a. Okay, then I'll bring the smaller one here, but I'm gonna take that one, the bigger one downtown. If you don't drink Hennessy, why are you opening the Hennessy White? Let me see that.
Supposed to be better than that. I don't know.
It smells the same. It smells very similar. I'm gonna try Shannon's. What is it called? Laportier? You like it? Don't hate on Henny. Don't hate on Henny. You don't like Hennessy White, so I'm taking that too then, right? You can put that in the refrigerator.
I'm supposed to taste it first.
It's all right.
Just like this one.
What? What are you drinking?
I'm not gonna waste it.
Anyways. All right, so yeah. All right, so let's get started with the show. You said it's aged 2 years, that's why it's that color. The chat that's ain't no meat in that. All right, let me get into this Camron situation. Let me open this up. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algo. Subscribe to the channel. And turn on your notifications. Let's get it popping, y'all. It's Friday. We don't got no time limit. Ain't nobody got to wake up at no particular time to go to work in the morning, probably. Most of y'all. Anton, are you into wine or champagne? I am into champagne. Huh? It's a bottle of what? The Isaiah Thomas one, the Sherlon? Let me see that. I usually try to stick with Isaiah. Maybe it's just because I'm a Isaiah Thomas fan, but he actually makes a really good champagne, in my opinion. It's called Sherlin. These people need to start paying me for the promotion. This is doesn't have any of them trash grapes, none of the extra sugar, none of the extra trash that they put inside of this in order to try to make it taste good. Straight from the source. It's a pretty dope. It's actually a really good champagne. So shout out to Isaiah Thomas. The real Isaiah Thomas, the first Isaiah Thomas, the Detroit Isaiah Thomas. I drink Sherlin champagne. Pocket of the Nero Beats says, been aware and tuning into your platforms for a minute. You seem like a cool dude that keeps it 100, sipping Henny now, day off from, okay. Shout out to my people sipping that Henny right now. Shout out to that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Mase and Camron. They responded to the whole Steve Stoute conversation that he was having with Shannon Sharp about Dame Dash. So I'm going to go ahead and show that, and then we can get into the show. All right.
Favorite players, to name a few. They'll also match your first deposit.
Good, man. No, Miami. I love where we film.
Cam really loved the 80s, bro. You can tell a dude that loved the 80s, the late 90s. I actually like the 80s clothes. I think that the 80s glasses, the 80s clothes, the Sergio Tacchini's, all of that stuff was absolutely dope. I don't like the fact that some of it is starting to become too popularized to where it seemed like it's starting to become a fad and people are starting to wear it. But
But I do miss this weather, man.
what up, man?
I can't lie, man. The weather's beautiful, man. The weather is beautiful. What's good, baby? What happened?
Yeah, you didn't see what
I had
happened,
a few appointments.
huh?
Nah, I've been running around. I had a few appointments today. What we was talking about, I missed out. Everything was going on. What happened?
I was just wondering how you feel about them guys talking about Damon Dash, your fellow Harlem guy, since you're from Harlem.
Who was talking about him?
Steve Stoute and Shannon Sharp.
Oh, I did see that. I seen that.
You saw that?
Did you see what Dame response was?
Oh no, I ain't see his response.
Dame responded to the Steve Stoute and Shannon Sharp thing. I'm gonna have to pull that up. I didn't know that he even responded, but we'll get there.
If he responded,
No, that listen, pocket full of De Niro. The '80s itself was trash. The people, the coked up men from that ruined our households and stuff like that. The '80s men and the culture was trash, as far as how people ruined their families and ruined their life and couldn't play basketball, and it was all of that stuff. However, the style, the gazelles, the glasses, the furs, the whole style of the '80s was dope. Now their style was dope. The men was trash, but the style was dope. Hey, somebody, hey, your car, if you can find that for me, send that to me as far as how Dame responded to the whole Shannon Sharp Steve Stoute conversation. But I'll get into that in a minute. Let me hear what Mason Cam got to say.
I don't have to
Uh,
respond. But what you was
I'm
thinking?
gonna read you. I'm gonna
Oh,
read
Cam, I
you
go.
because I've been moving around. I seen it briefly, but I'll read you real quick what Dame wrote. Well, everybody could go on the internet and see what Steve said. And Dame, what is Dame? Dusko, right? Yeah, Dusko. I'm about
Mm-hmm.
Dame Dash response to what Steve Stoute said, and his caption is, "This is the reason I had to slap the shit out of Steve Stoute a couple years ago. because he's always speaking on other men's business. Good thing that I involved. Stay tuned.
How did you?
I think that Dame. Let me just reserve my thoughts real quick. No, I'm not gonna reserve my thoughts. I think that that's so corny. Like, I think that that's why people like Steve Stoute is winning and they stay winning, and people like Dame. You know what's so funny? Dame think that just because he's involved or he was involved in something that somebody asks him about, that it give him he got a higher moral authority to be able to speak on issues and stuff that's happening. As far as what happened, Dame stays speaking on people that ain't even speaking on him on a regular basis. This dude's sense of entitlement is crazy. Shannon Sharp asked Steve Stoute, which Steve Stoute obviously got a relationship with Jay-Z, about what happened as far as the breakup with regard to that. Steve Stoute answered the question. It wound up being like a 2 minute, 2.5 minute perspective or conversation. And then they moved on to something completely different, including Nas and stuff. He wasn't even checking for that. Dame goes on tour every single day and says everything that he wants to say about whatever it is that's happening. His opinion on this person, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, okay, well, I knew them and they asked me a question. Man, what make these niggas think that they got a higher moral authority and that they can determine what happens in the culture and who can say what with who? Man, listen, you a content creator now. You're a content creator now. What do you mean? You on an interview circuit talking about other men every single day. Every single day, this nigga be talking about other people. I think that this is like a culture thing over in New York, bro. Where for some reason these niggas feel like they above. I don't know where they got that shit from. Why do they feel like they above and that they can say stuff about people and then just be able to just get away with it and that's the end of the conversation? Man, these niggas is weak, man. Dog, New York ain't been the same since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings, bro. New York ain't been the same since Snoop came through and started stomping on the buildings, bro. I don't know what's wrong, bro. Like, what makes these dudes think that they could just say and do whatever it is? Well, I guess you can say and do whatever you want to do because ain't nobody doing nothing to nobody. Yes, everybody talks about everybody because everybody get. Look, hold on. You can't. Let me give these niggas an update on how you supposed to move in this internet era because obviously they think that this is the 80s and these niggas are still running work. All right? Let me say this. If you get on the internet and you give your opinion on something or you share something with the general public, people have a right to react to it. I don't think that it's kosher to go and disrespect somebody's family or go talk about their children or start to involve other people in the conversation except for what people say. So if somebody says something, if Dame is out here on tour and he got 1,000 interviews about what it is that he think about what happened with everybody else that was associated with him, and he giving his perspective and he's giving insight. What do you expect? You expect people to react to it. That's why we watch it. If people didn't want to react to it, or if people didn't find it interesting, that's why then they wouldn't watch it. That's why they're asking you about Jay, because they finding Jay and the breakup between Rockefeller and the time in which that resonated in their life, because it was a time in history that people really enjoyed. That's the thing that's really popping. So if you on the internet talking every single interview, and it doesn't matter. Listen, you could do the same thing. If somebody asks you a question and they say, "Look, fam, what do you think about this?" You can say, "I don't want to talk about that right now." Chances are you probably wouldn't get booked for the interview, and that's one of the reasons why you're still talking about it, right? But if you go on that interview and you say, "Okay, well, this is my opinion on A, B, C, D, E, F, and G," and then people want to give their opinion about what you said because it was it was a moment or it was a dope take or maybe you gave a good interview or some shit, then that's what they do. But now niggas, listen, you got 50-year-old men. I'm not going at Camron Mase. I'm giving my opinion on Dame Dash's response to and threatening and saying that's why I slapped the shit out of him, stay tuned and all of that stuff. Listen, man, listen, you could respond, you could say whatever you want to say, but all of that tough talking shit, that shit is corny, man. That junk is played out. There's cameras everywhere. You can't do nothing to nobody without nobody finding out about it. I think that Cam and Mace's show is incredible. I love Cam. It is what it is. It's a dope platform. I'm giving my opinion on Dame Dash. And he want to say whatever he want to say, but then he want to control how you react to it. Shannon Sharp asked him a question.
You feel about that? I don't think men should have to be that violent, you know, especially when they get to a certain age, you know.
Thank you,
No,
Mace.
no,
Mace just said the sentiment of my heart. I haven't even seen this video. Mace just said the sentiment of my heart. He said, listen, man, what are we talking about getting violent for when you get to that? And they laughed it off because I'm sure that they got a relationship with Dame, but whatever.
no, he didn't. No, he said this is why he did a couple years ago, but good thing he evolved.
Yeah,
That's what he said. He
I
didn't
like
say he's
that.
going to use violence. That was his phrase in his caption. And I also see what Steve said. For me, it's like this with this particular situation because I'm cool with Steve, but Dave's my big bro at the same time. So to me, it's like this. Whenever Dame does an interview, you know about 90% of the time, Jay-Z's name is going to get brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a fact.
it seems like Dame is just always saying something negative or something not positive about Jay-Z. And in all fairness, if I believe y'all didn't ask him the questions, he wouldn't speak about it. But once you start asking him questions, Dame's like open book. You're going to start talking about what he knows and what they went through, et cetera, et cetera. And with Steve Stoute, the situation to me is that I don't know, I just seen a clip of this. I don't know how Dame's name got brought up. That's more the question for me. It's like,
Shannon Sharp asked Steve Stout a question. Steve Stout answered it as honestly as he could about what his opinion was based off of what the same way that Dame speaks on Jay is the same way that Steve spoke on what Shannon Sharp asked him. It's the exact same thing. Literally. He didn't volunteer the information. It was riding in the truck. Shannon Sharp asked him a question. He responded to it. They moved on about the conversation. That's it.
if you didn't bring Dame's name up, uh, why mention him? So I would need more context how the interview went and see how it goes. But even like Steve Stout was on the Breakfast Club, he says Dame name. And anytime, the funny thing is this, right? Steve Stout, and like I said, Steve probably gonna call me later today about this when I speak to him, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Steve doesn't call me. We don't speak that often. But Steve had, he says things about Dame. Dame says things about Steve. But maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, Steve Stout called me and was like, yo, tell Dame I said he was right about certain things. I forget exactly what it was about, but he wanted me to deliver that message to Dame. And I did deliver the message to Dame, and I don't ever know what panned out from it. But I know that they have mutual uh, business respect for each other. But when it gets personal, it just gets personal.
Yeah, I
What
really
you gonna
don't
say?
like the I really don't like the
No, stop. See, this is where y'all be capping, Brave Dave. Mace never threatened Shannon Sharp. Mace never threatened Shannon Sharp. That's all cap. All right, so don't even say that. Y'all like to translate stuff to mean something other than what it is. That's not true.
the way it get perceived, because if there was some things that he did right, then I would prefer that people share that as well as the bad. I don't like when people try to stack a narrative in a direction, especially, and me and Dame has never had a good relationship, but I'm a stickler for truth, and I want to know the truth, and I want to be a part of the truth. Even if I've done something that wasn't truthful, I would like to make that right. So it could be truthful. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear things about Dame, it seems like people only tell the bad side because the person who has the most money is on the other side. That's the part I don't like, you know? So when I hear certain things, I don't like it. And I would want to know, you know, you being a person that it seemed like Dame put in a very powerful position. Looking back at it, do
Yep.
you think Dame was like wrong, or do you think he was right about the
Now
things
you
that he
know Cam
did,
ain't
even when it
gonna go
comes
against Dame. You know Cam ain't gonna go against Dame. But good question.
to you? Do you think that was right or wrong?
Today is Ask Cam, huh?
I was saving this one.
Today is Ask Cam.
Yeah, scam. The whole world want to know this, killer. You know?
Look, the thing about it is this: is that Dame. It isn't about. To me, Dame is right. A lot of times, it's his approach,
Yeah,
That's true too.
and he comes across aggressive. Uh, he's a quick talker, very articulate, has an extensive vocabulary, and he is street nigga. So with all that combined, and he's arrogant in a good way for me. And to me, it's funny, you know, like for y'all don't, when I say arrogant, like, you know, me, Mason, Dame was on a convo about a week ago and on a FaceTime. As soon as we get on the phone with Dame, he like, yeah, look at my lake, nigga. Nah, hello, what's up? How y'all been? Yo, Mace, that's you. I ain't seen you in 15 years. How you been? Look at my lake, nigga. I'm in my lake house right now.
yeah.
This is how he says hello to his friends.
Yeah, those his I said,
Yo,
Dame, are
hold
those your alligators? He
on.
said, yeah, those my
Yeah,
alligators. Dame, those are not your
yeah, Dame said I
alligators.
would. Yeah, they're the property of Florida, the state of Florida. Dave said I would take y'all to the guest house, but it's going. I mean, to the main house, but it's going to take you about 9 minutes because we got to get on a go kart to get all the way over there. This is how he says hello. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm being dead verbatim just about
Yeah,
how he told me and Mace what's up. So when you're not cool with him and he has facts, you know, Dame will hit you with 100 facts. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Not doing this. Not doing that. And then at the end of it, he'll say, "Why would you even wear them sneakers? Those shits is terrible. Matter of fact, I should have
yeah.
known you wasn't going to do business right if you would wear sneakers like that." Like he's that type of, like it throw you off because it's like all the crazy shit that made sense he just said, and then he just starts snapping on you and the way you dress. And
But see, all of that shit works when you the top dog. It don't really work when you the top dog because eventually the wolves start getting sick of it. That's the see. Listen, the diminishing people and snapping on people and going off and just expecting for them to understand how you do shit. See, look, this is the problem. The problem with a lot of people is that they grew up in the streets and they was getting street money. And when you was getting street money, you operated under a certain perspective, right? Because you moved into corporate, but you never understood the rules that came along with corporate America. In the streets, it's different because a lot of time fear is respected. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, you can get away with that shit. You can sun people. When it comes to the business world in corporate America, it's cultural fit. And so it's kind of like dealing with a woman. You can say anything to anybody if you say it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the disconnect. And because motherfuckers never started to break away from the street mentality, but they was getting money in corporate America or they was successful, and then they wonder why everybody is turning against them or don't nobody want to work with them no more, is because we ain't in the streets no more. So that shit work in your hood, but we in the whole world. And then he want to sit there and get mad at niggas and say, well, how come Kevin Hart ain't tweeting out my shit or he ain't reposting my shit on Instagram and stuff like that? Well, that's why. Because nigga, this ain't Harlem. Niggas grow up. Once you become 50 and shit, listen, if you want to live in a silo by yourself, then cool. But if you want to play the victim because you expecting motherfuckers to adapt to your cultural norm, that ain't how it work. And so you can't expect everybody to see things the way that they see it because sometimes people grow up and sometimes people evolve past wherever it is that you grew up in. You say, well, that's some Harlem shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about Harlem. I ain't in Harlem. I ain't even from Harlem. And so, yo, you can operate under your own code, but everybody code ain't your code. And I even have to adapt. Even today, every single day, I'm always learning, I'm always evolving because I understand the room that I'm gonna be in, everybody don't have to necessarily respond to how it is that I exact how I see things or how I start to, implement things or what it is that I want to say. And so you can't bully people into seeing things your way or responding in the way that you respond to it. You got to move according to wherever it is that you at. And like Cam said, he was 100% right. Listen, how he talked to his friends, they understand that, they get that, they see that, they can move accordingly, and they're like, okay, cool, we get it. This is how we joke. How I joke with my family, we like to Jones and shit. You know what I'm saying? Jones, we like to cap, we like to joke on each other, we like to snap or whatever. But then when certain people, you go out into the world, the stuff that we think is funny or the stuff that we rock with, they be like, man, that's some, we don't rock with that. Who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? And so we don't get offended maybe in Detroit or where we from because of the things that we grew up around. But then when I went into corporate America, I can't talk like that and then say, you got to respect my mind or you got to respect my culture. They're going to be like, man, get the fuck out of here. We don't give a fuck what you talking about. They're not going to say, get the fuck out of here. They just going to be like, yeah, we're moving on and we're going to move over into somebody else. They don't care how smart you are. They don't care how much money you got. They don't care how cool you are. They don't care about none of that. You have to adapt to whatever it is that's happening around you, and you can't force people to see it the way you see it. So you just walking around snapping on motherfuckers and saying, I don't know why they mad. You don't know. You don't know. Everybody is different. And so that flies. That flies when you're in a position of power. But guess what? Nobody is in the absolute position of power 100% of the time. And eventually, you gotta hand over the throne to somebody else, and then people start to write the history according to how they see it. History is written by winners. It's not written by people that get upset at the winners. History is written by winners.
And then he relates that to the business as like, nigga, I should have known a nigga who dressed like you wasn't never going to do business right. But as far as doing right by me, I think if you're asking about my time at Rockefeller, um, what happened with this with me is plain and simple. I didn't get a good deal. What happened is I was at entertainment and I ended up going to Epic my second album. And when I got the Epic Records, I learned the record business. I learned who was doing promotion. I learned who was doing marketing. I learned who was doing radio. I learned why the money wasn't getting spent. I learned the niggas was stealing out my budget. And I became really aggressive in the music industry because I'm like, back in them days, Mase knows you signed for 7 albums. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these niggas on my second album and these niggas playing my life. So I
Yeah.
took it like they was playing my life. And I bought 40 niggas. Shout out to my man Luca Brasi. He used to have the Taliban. I took niggas from 40th, niggas from 145th. And every day we went to Epic Records with 40 niggas. So they let me out my deal. Dame helped me get out my deal and I went to Rockefeller. So I said all that to say I knew the business by the time I got to Rockefeller. So when I got to Rockefeller, I came in there like an animal because I knew where marketing was, I knew where radio was, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So as soon as I got there, I hit the ground, my feet running. Went into Bobby's office, which is Dave's brother. I need my radio spins because I'm gonna deliver good music. Who's running marketing? I talked to marketing. A&R department, I don't need them. I don't need no A&R. I'm good. The A&R days is over, nigga. They was cool with me, but I just wasn't fucking with no A&R. I don't need you to tell me what to do for me. And then after that, I went to Def Jam, and I start more of the story is when I got there, and it's no disrespect to nobody on Rockefeller because sometimes they take it as disrespect. I just kind of surpassed them because what happens is they was in a good deal and they never had to really learn the business. Dame, Jay, and Biggs did such a good job with running the company, they had the time to just be artists. To where my last deal, I didn't have time to be an artist.
Who did
I
you
mean,
pass?
because I mean, I was an
When you
artist
when you say who you pass, who
when I.
no names? Are you saying
Well, I
artists
mean,
or executives?
besides to both to me, it was like when I got there, the biggest artist, of course, was Jay-Z. But after that, think about it. If you know history of hip hop, and no disrespect, like Beanie was there and State Property, and I'm not talking about record wise. I'm talking about see certain things. I want to make sure I clarify.
Yeah.
Music might have been equal, or if not better, at least equal. Like I'm just giving State Property for example. They had the movement, we had the movement, but what happened is Jay, Dame, and Biggs did such a good job, they didn't have to learn business. I got jerked at Epic Records, so I knew the business. Not me just dealing with Def Jam. I mean, with Rockefeller, I started going upstairs to Def Jam. So Def Jam was partners with Rockefeller. So not only am I getting Rockefeller to do my music, I'm talking directly to Kevin Lowndes. I'm talking directly to Leo Cohen. I'm talking directly to Julie Greenwald. I'm talking directly to Kaiser. And I'm like, I push the button downstairs. Now y'all need to push the button. And they couldn't, not saying they couldn't understand it, but they like, Cam know what the fuck you talking about. Yeah, I just got jerked around, so I learned. My life was on the line. What Dame Dash told me was this, murder, when I first got to Rockefeller. He said, look, Cam, look, you got you a second chance at this music shit. You know, we're gonna see if this work, and if it don't work, we're gonna give you a job. And that was like the scariest shit I ever heard in my life. But it was real though. You
Yeah.
got to respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, yo, damn, I don't want no job, but we got to make this work because you don't get a lot of chances in hip hop. So
That,
we made it work, and that
I mean, so that's great
you
because I
go,
mean, I wasn't there. That's why I'm asking the questions. At this point, I'm in church, so I'm not really
yeah,
knowing what's going on.
Shout out to being in church and not knowing what's going on. But man, I will say that Dipset shit was like that junk was fire. Like that was a movement. I always took to as far as style and the finesse and all of that. Dipset was so dope coming from a Detroit dude. Dipset was so dope because Dipset had like a trifecta. And I mean, you could say Freaky Zeke in there or whatever, but they kind of had a trifecta, right? From my lens. Now this is from the lens of a person that's not in New York, and so we just watching this shit, and we like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Because they had a trifecta. They had, the Cam with the, you know what I'm saying, with the mink and the slow flow. And then he had the, you know what I'm saying, the pink mink with the range and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? That kind of set it off with the old boy and all of that, right? And then you had Jim. Now Jimmy, I took more to Jimmy as far as his style because Jimmy was more like, from my perspective, Jim Jones was more like a West Coast nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it was almost like he was a West Coast dude in the East Coast dude's body, or in the East Coast dude's mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you look at Jim Jones and what he was doing over there when he did that song with, he did a song I think with Game, Lil Easy E, or whatever, and it was like he fit right in. He could have straight up been a West Coast dude. As far as the way that he dressed when he had, you know what I'm saying? He had the MC8 Compton Psycho braids and all of that. He had that old dog type of look to him. But then he was a East Coast dude, so he was almost like the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you know what I'm saying? They came with the skulls on they with the rock star type shit that was leaning off their jeans and shit, and that shit was like a movement. You know what I'm saying? Like. And then you had Jewels. Now Jewels for me is the most disappointing person. One of the most disappointing dudes that I've ever heard of or that I've ever seen from New York. And the reason that is because Jewels, in my opinion, he was supposed to be like the Lil Wayne. He was supposed to be like the torchbearer, the dude that really took off, that ran that shit. But Jewels, it just seemed like he was lazy. Like these niggas just wanted to be in the streets. They never actually wanted to work. And it's like to see these niggas get on, but they didn't. Let me tell you why I like Jim Jones the most, right? Which I have so much respect for Cam, but I like Jim Jones the most. The reason that I like Jim Jones the most is because Jim made the most out of his talent. Like Jim seemed like he was probably the least talented when it came to rapping, but he had some of the biggest fucking hits. Like Jim turned what most niggas would only have a 15 minutes worth of fame into a lifetime career. A lifetime career. Of course, I don't agree with everything that Jim did and all of that other type of stuff, but I have more respect and I have so much love for Jim Jones, because the nigga went from carrying crates to maximizing everything that he could out of the rap game. The dude got more out of the rap game, in my opinion, based off of just talent, because Jim Jones wasn't a bars dude. But then if you listen to, like, my favorite albums from all Dipset stuff, like on an individual, not the Dipset, the Diplomatic Immunity album or anything like that. My favorite albums was the Vampire Life series. I love Vampire's Life. Like all of that when he had Sin City, Max B, all of them dudes. Max B was really supposed to be the Wave. That's the Wave guy. A lot of y'all not familiar with this. See, a lot of y'all niggas don't probably even know what I'm talking about, because y'all wasn't outside and y'all wasn't really familiar with what was happening out in the, out here with the culture or whatever, or y'all didn't even really live it, and so y'all don't understand it. But Max B was supposed to be the man, and I hated the fact that Max B and Jim Jones was beefing, because Max B was almost like the most talented Max Bigavell, you know what I'm saying? So wavy, all of that shit, right? And it's funny because then you go Max B and then you can go French Montana, which you can go into Coke Boys. And it's funny because Coke Boys, French Montana, and 2 Chainz was bubbling on the scene at the exact same time, right? And people would like to diminish my man, what I just said his name, French Montana, and the Coke Boys wave. French Montana was running it the fuck up. He was doing more shows every single day than anybody on the market. French Montana is another one that I got a lot of respect for, because he maximized the fuck out of his talent. He maximized his talent. But I have so much more respect for Jim Jones. Not that I don't respect Cam, because I think that Cam is dope. And I love Cam and I love what it is what it is. But Jim Jones made the most out of his opportunities. Out of everybody that was out there, Jim Jones made the most out of his opportunities. Jules Santana was the most talented. And this is one of the reasons why I always champion hard work over talent. I take hard work over talent. Yep, Chinks Drugs. I remember that too. I champion hard work over talent 10 times out of 10. I don't give a fuck if you're talented. Mac and cheese, yeah, mac and cheese. Shout out to Mac and Cheese from French Montana. And it's funny because I even remember when Jim Jones and it was a dude that Jay-Z and them signed. Oh man. And he went to jail too. And he had got like a $500,000 deal from Jay-Z and them. I don't even remember. I forgot what his name was. But yeah, man, like to be around at that time was incredible. Jules Santana had the perfect setup. And he had Lil Wayne, I Can't Feel My Face, and the nigga just disappeared. Meanwhile, Lil Wayne was out there running up a legacy, and now most of us consider Lil Wayne at the very least in our top 10, but minimally some of us, including myself, I include Lil Wayne in my top 5 of all time. True Life. You got it. Outspoken introvert. True Life wound up getting into it, and it was a whole beef with that thing. Man, listen, man. Late 90s, early 2000s, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. It was so much happening. And this is why it's difficult for me to even have a conversation with a lot of y'all, Because when we start talking about hip hop and we start talking about rap and we start talking about the culture, y'all don't know what y'all talking about because y'all don't really understand the history of it. See, y'all understand record sales and who was the biggest artist at the time because anybody can look that up. But very few people actually understood True Life. Very few people actually watched the Smack DVDs. Very few people actually understood the French Montana Coke Boys wave associated with the Max B and the Max B falling out with Jim Jones and Max Biggerville. I still listen to Max B today. A lot of people ain't familiar with Chink's Drugs. You just hear about it. A lot of people not familiar with the DMX battles and all of that stuff and how Ja Rule came into the game. Listen, man, y'all can say what y'all want about Ja Rule. Ja Rule had the fucking Ja Rule had some dope fucking albums. Dope albums. And so it's hard for me to sit here and have hip hop conversations and debates a lot of times with a lot of people because they're not familiar with what's really happening in the culture, in the streets. Meanwhile, battle rap was bubbling, and that was on 10 because you had all of the battle rappers over in New York, right? And when I'm talking about the battle rappers, I'm talking about the dudes like way back. I ain't just talking about, you know what I'm saying, the people that y'all looking at now. Y'all looking at people that's standing on the shoulders of the guys that built it. I'm talking about the T-Rexes. You know what I'm saying? Before T-Rex was the T-Rex. Y'all don't. Swave Seva. Y'all don't know nothing about those type of dudes. Y'all not familiar with it. Y'all not aware of what was happening. Big T before he became what it is that he is today. You know what I'm saying? Averb before when he had the waves. You know, all of those before them, right? Way before them when they was battling. I remember when I used to watch I ain't gonna get into all of that because I'll be here all day. But my point is I think that Jim Jones made the most out of his opportunity. Camron was always gonna be Cam, so he was gonna be successful. Y'all probably never even heard Horse and Carriage. When they had Mase and Camron and they had the blue and the red leathers on, and I don't think that they was able to clear Mase, and so it looked like Mase was in there, but Mase wasn't even really in the video with the horse and carriage shit. Y'all not familiar with all of that. Nope, Calico wasn't even a thing back in Calico. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I think that they absolutely made the most out of their opportunities. Jules Santana, I don't know what happened to him. I'm not sure why he didn't make the most out of his opportunity, but you know, it really was some no, a lot of people don't know it. Yeah, I interviewed Averb. Averb just hit me up the other day. That's my dog. Yep. A lot of people are not familiar with this. People just be talking. Listen, we had a dude on a platform the other day that didn't even know what reasonable doubt was. We had a dude that called up here to criticize my perspective of what I was given, but he didn't even understand the context. He thought I was talking about a legal term. He didn't know that Reasonable Doubt was actually a real album. You can't tell me that everybody know about. No, they don't. Most people are not familiar and don't even understand the timelines by which I'm breaking this stuff down. They have no clue whatsoever. They don't know about entertainment. They don't know about none of that stuff. The dude didn't even know what Reasonable Doubt was. And so now you're going to sit here and say, well, no, they did. Most people don't know. They have no clue whatsoever. And so when you start to have conversations with them and they telling you about fucking Travis Scott, man, these niggas don't know nothing about this. They don't know nothing about none of this whatsoever at all. They know the highlights. It's just like niggas that watch the league today. They don't know nothing about Corliss Williamson, you know what I'm saying, and how he had to master the fact that he was undersized. They don't know shit about Junkyard Dog. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what Dennis Rodman was really about and why he was able to do what he did. All they know is the Dennis Rodman from the Jordan documentary. They don't know about Dennis Rodman kicking that cameraman over there and him being on San Antonio and what he did with the Detroit Pistons and the fact that he slept with Madonna. They don't know about none of that. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They know about who Robert Parrish was, but they don't know about Larry Bird, they don't know about the real Larry Bird. They don't know that Larry Bird was a monster. He was a savage. You know, they get the highlights. Even today, they don't watch the game. They know about Anthony Edwards. They know about, Karl Anthony Towns. Now they all it's Wemby. It's all NBA highlights. These niggas don't watch games. They don't go to games. So they're not familiar with what's really happening in the streets. Let me get my guy Slimmy up here, bro. What up, Slimmy?
Hey, that was me. I'm typing like, yo, we know all about this shit. And I'm
No,
thinking
we
like,
know about it.
but I had to correct myself like, oh shit, yeah, well, I do.
We know about this shit because we love it. You know what I'm saying? We historians when it comes to this shit, but because we really, really loved it. But most people are not familiar with the timelines and any of this stuff that happened when it came to hip hop.
Yeah, that's facts. I wasn't really thinking about like, it's thousands of people watching. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm just like, we know all this shit. But yeah,
Man, people be
folk,
all.
yeah, people don't be knowing. Like, people really don't be knowing this shit, bro. Like, it's crazy.
People don't
I was
think that I know nothing about most of this stuff. They think I just be talking.
Yeah, that's what be crazy. I was literally just on Clubhouse like about an hour ago, just talking
Mm-hmm.
about all crazy, man. I was just talking about all these battle times, man, and like Mook against Jay Mills.
Yeah, Jay
Everybody
Mills. But T
everybody
Rex
feel
was the man back then, though, too.
yeah, T Rex I think he kind of put Mook on in a way. I think. I ain't sure.
Yeah,
But definitely co-signed him in some kind of way before
yeah,
before Mook got real popping.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
like yeah, those was the days though, man. Them Smack DVDs, bro. I used to watch that Lux versus Mook battle like over and
People
over and over.
people don't know about Sirius Jones and
Yeah, Serious Jones destroyed Mook, man.
they
Like,
don't have a clue,
oh
bro, because they don't know about head ice.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah. They
saying?
don't know
Like
about 40 cal,
all of them
40 cal.
dudes, bro. I used to listen to Head Ice and all of them dudes. And Head Ice had, you know what I'm saying? It was more like it was a performative type of thing. It wasn't just the words. It was, they don't know about Saigon. They don't know about,
Oh yeah,
all of
Saigon.
these
Man,
different
I forgot about
dudes.
yeah. What's his name from your city that passed away from
Oh,
Detroit? X Factor. Wasn't his name?
oh
What's
yeah,
his
yeah,
name?
yeah, yeah. He was from
Uh,
Pontiac, I think.
no, it's not X Factor. His name is from he from oh man, what's his name? Damn, he passed away like about a year
Who
ago.
passed away? I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh man, I can't think of this dude's name.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
X Factor is still alive. It's one of the dudes. He started like just talking about battle rapping. He wasn't rapping no more.
Oh,
He
okay.
started talking about it, man. But like, man, I can't think of his name, man. But he used to have some epic battles. Damn,
Yeah.
it's dude from that. He got the same name as dude that from Strange Music. What's dudes that run Strange Music? The biggest
Who,
artist from
Tech
Strange
Nine?
Music. Tech Nine.
Oh, Tech Nine. Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, he passed. I think he from Detroit though. He passed
Mm,
away though. I think
mm.
he was from Detroit. Or he was
Yeah.
either from Detroit or he's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, a lot of people really, really don't know, bro. Like they have no clue. But
Yeah.
because I don't always say something, you know what I'm saying? Because the majority of what I talk about is completely unrelated to stuff that's really happening in the culture. Then they
Right.
think that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? No, I was
Yeah,
really,
Nigga, we was
really on this
outside.
shit. Yes. In real
Ah,
life, bro.
that shit crazy. People don't man, yeah, Tech Nine, they in the chat, they know. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like but man, it's just so crazy how people they see some of these dudes now, but they don't really realize why they popping.
Yeah.
Like and why they looked at like legendary, like man, cause dudes back then, man, they really was getting after it, man. And like
Yeah, they was.
at a time where it really wasn't accepted though. That's what was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I remember those days, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, man.
crazy. It is crazy, but it warms my heart to see people like Cam and Mason and winning and stuff like that because I remember when they first came out.
Hell yeah. I heard you mentioning Horse and Carriage, man, and like most people they do not remember that song, man. They
Mm.
don't they don't remember when Cam used to rap fast. He used to That the about a knit it off. That another knit it
A
off.
lot of these people is they. I like to call them fair weather fans because they get
Yeah,
in and they watch the highlights and then they think they can have a whole conversation with you when they don't understand the culture for real, for real.
yeah, they don't, man. Hip hop came a long motherfucking way,
It
boy.
has evolved a lot. It has evolved in a whole lot, a
I
whole
don't
lot.
know. I don't know if it's for the better though. I don't really know. It's still
I
hard to
don't think
say.
it's for the better or for worse right now. I just think that it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that you can say that it is or not anymore. It's just the genie is out the bottle, and it's never gonna get better or it's never gonna get worse. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
It's just a yin and a yang. You know.
Yeah.
So
I think you on to something with that one because like it's gonna grow, but then it's gonna always be like that base.
yeah.
It's gonna be that base and that like the where the it's not necessarily where the mainstream is gonna always feel it. The
Mm-hmm.
mainstream don't always feel it, but like those hardcore fans, they're gonna always love it, man. So
Mm.
I right with that. I think you're right. It's gonna
Yeah.
always be.
But we'll see what happens. I always keep my ears peeled and seeing what's happening. But honestly, I don't even today, like the stuff that I think is popping, and that's what I think is really making a wave. It's always gonna be a wave. I kind of mix the stuff that most people is not really listening to. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
I'm listening to Larry June.
yeah, my cousin real big on Larry
I
June,
love
man.
Larry June. I listen to Larry June. I listen to a lot of Detroit rappers. I listen to Currency mostly. Um, I still listen to a lot of Nipsey Hussle. I listen to stuff that make me feel good that I can vibe to.
No, but you got to, bro. You got to, because
Yeah, I'm not listening for the deep shit. I just listen to shit that I like to vibe to.
I still get into the deep shit every once in a while, but it's not the same because like they not really picking they're not picking them beats that I like, man. So it's just like I'm kind of like
They never did though.
some of them did, some of them did.
Like who?
So I always like the beats that Lupe picked. I always like Lupe's
I
beats.
can't fuck with Lupe, man.
Woo! Why not?
I can't fuck with Lupe, man.
What is it? What is it? His style is. Oh yeah, Bodie
You
James.
know,
Yeah, I like.
you know what Lupe kind of remind me of it's a nigga that was like he was an incredible. Oh God, he's slipping my
Uncle
mind.
J.
No,
Uncle
no, no,
J.
no, no. It's a rapper that he was incredible. He was kind of like a black. He kind of looked like damn, this dude. He looked like my man that be on EYL. I forgot what his name was. Like the Stars and the Moon dude. Gosh, I'm losing it. What is this nigga's name? He could freestyle his ass off.
Where you from?
I don't know. I forgot where he was from. He used to talk to, I think, like a Lola Monroe or something like that. Gosh, what is his name?
Close.
Los.
Oh
Los.
yeah.
Lupe remind me of Los, but a better version because he could rap his ass off. But these niggas is lazy, man. They
Well,
don't
Los.
work. They don't work. They don't drop enough.
Well, Los. He in a different realm. He do drop, but it's like I think he do like this hip hop school thing.
Man, don't nobody
So
want to hear that shit. Nigga, we want to hear good music. We want to hear some good music, bro. Can't we want to hear good music? We don't want to hear that shit, bro. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like I want to hear niggas. I want to hear you continue to evolve and put out music. That's why I respect Currency so much, man. Because Currency work. Currency work. Currency
yeah.
stay in the loop. He stay dropping. He stay putting on.
I'm just not a fan, bro.
And see, that's the thing. Los will get on Sway in the morning or some shit, or he'll drop a freestyle. You know who? You know what Los kind of remind me of, but in a different vein. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say that. They're not even related. But my man that was on Good Music. I love his shit.
How the Prince.
Saha the Prince, bro. And it's
Uh,
like he got great shit, but it's just like these niggas is just too cool for school.
well, Sahai, he do a lot of writing for Kanye.
Man, drop that shit, bro.
He got some joints out. Go check him out, man.
Yeah,
Don't say
but
that.
work, nigga. Put the music out. Like, put it
You
out.
know,
Work. Drop some
I
Instagram
have all
clips,
that.
nigga. Get your shit popping. These niggas be too talented to just be that cool. Oh man, I write for Kanye, my nigga. Like, nigga, work.
No,
Work.
I know what you're saying, but like he had like hella mixtapes out before he got on Good Music,
I
and
know.
then
I love this shit. I love it. I love all of us stuff. But work, man.
once he got on there, it's like he kind of slowed down. So that's I don't know what be going on, man. It's
Man, these
kind of
niggas
strange.
need to work, bro. Like, work, man. Put in the work. Drop some money. Drop some music, nigga.
Yeah, I agree.
These
I
niggas
don't
just
know.
be chilling. They be vibing, waiting for it. Man, work, nigga. Go out there and put out some music, and fucking record videos for every song that you put out. Man, if I
I
was an
know
artist, bro, if I was an
most is doing
artist,
that now.
I will put a visual out. I will put a visual out and some music every single week. You would not
Yeah,
be able to
most is
stop
doing
me from
that.
putting
Most
out
is doing that now.
You know who I respect? NBA YoungBoy, bro. No, I'm
Oh
sorry, not
man,
NBA YoungBoy. Never broke. Never broke, bro. Like, I respect that nigga because that nigga stay working. You
that's
may
NBA
not
young.
you may not necessarily necessarily care for his music, but
He always got some shit out. Yeah, young boy.
he
You talking about NBA
worked.
young?
Young boy never broke, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
never broke again. Never
that
broke again. That's
nigga,
him.
that nigga stay working. He
He
worked,
always
bro.
he always got some shit out, man. Like whether I
I
like
got
it or
so
not.
much respect for him, though, because I may not care for his music, it may not resonate with me, but I'm like, damn, you can't miss this nigga.
Yeah, he always got something on YouTube.
If I
Still,
was a rapper, I would be so successful, bro, because I would outwork niggas. I would be in the mix every single day, bro. Like, I would be out there. You would hate me, you would love me, but you would have to make a decision about me.
yeah, that's how that. But that's where the labels kind of like ruin things at because artists don't work. They don't work.
And
They
that's
don't work
why
at all.
that's why you can't carry niggas.
Yeah, that's why it be so many artists on labels. They just be shelved because like they don't know what they can do. They don't know what they can't do. You know what I'm saying? Then they try to go mixtape. They don't make no money. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a catch 22 being on the label. You
Yeah.
better off being independent. You better
Yeah.
be in.
But
I mean,
it is what it is. Let me go ahead and finish playing the rest of this Camron and Mase. This tape.
you already know, bro.
All
I'll
right,
holler at
Sammy.
you. Yes,
Yeah, man. But I didn't got off into a tangent because I started reminiscing. Let me focus.
So
Right.
this
No,
mean
absolutely.
Dame gave
No,
a
that's
lot
the
of
point.
people jobs, regardless of what people say. And him giving you a platform, he gave a lot of people in Harlem jobs.
And respect to Dame
Oh,
for that.
absolutely.
And respect to Dame for putting people on and employing people because I think that Mase is right. And maybe I need to do some soul searching. And that maybe I don't extend enough credit and grace to Dame. But I also am going to say that a lot of that, the perception that's about somebody sometimes can be self-inflicted. Because if you continue to feed the narrative and you continue to do the shit that people are accusing you of being guilty of, it's hard for people to see the good. And so I'm going to be a little bit more introspective because maybe I'm a little bit too critical of Dame, but a lot of times the shit that you go viral for is not all of the nice stuff. And so I'm gonna be a little bit more introspective. Let me hear what else they got to say.
It's a bunch of people outside of me that are still in prominent positions now. Sherry, she's the president of the Rock Nation rave. She
Mm.
lived in Dame's building, Dame Dash's building in 1199. And I don't really know exactly how the college thing worked. I don't know if Dame helped her get in college or helped pay for college or whatever it was. I'm not sure about that part. But she came down as an intern. Dame let her be an intern at Rockefeller. And she never looked back. You know, she's an intern, then a secretary, then an assistant, then got went into corporate. Then I think she's the assistant president at Atlantic Records. So she went over to work with Todd Moskowitz, and now she's the president of Rock Nation. And this is like Dave Dash's niece almost.
Mm,
And that's just one example. It's several people who's still working right now. Emmanuel, who's at Atlantic, got hired at Rockefeller. It's a lot of executives that's still working right now because of that. Yes.
that's huge.
Yeah,
Pause.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Those are dope questions.
Yeah, I wanted to know because I when I hear stories, I don't really know. So you're my source of information when it comes to this
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
at that time I wasn't
Absolutely.
even listening to music, so there's a lot of stuff I
Right. No,
missed out on.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we
No,
definitely have
absolutely.
to.
Look,
I was gonna say we
you
definitely
have
have
to
to
what? Go ahead.
continue the Ask Cam and Mace because I know there's so many more things people want to
Yeah,
know.
I try
Yeah,
to start on, but he was ready.
yeah.
Oh, no, because I ain't gonna lie, nigga. You know, like I said, the main question you asked me, and before we get ready to move on, is, and and I don't know if it's the main question, but I want to wrap this up in saying this is that Dame gets perceived the wrong way because his attitude. He's very arrogant, but he's very smart. But the thing about it is, Dame is going to do what works for Dame. And at this point, you got to accept him, either love him or hate him for who he is because he's not changing. And he's been successful at helping build $100 million companies, not just one, but multiple. And some people never going to see $100 million in their life. So I think he's capable of doing anything in the world. But sometimes, to me, to Cam, the way he presents himself to other people is eternal. He's an
Yeah,
acquired taste. Pause.
yeah,
And that's I think that is the most pure, accurate description of what it is that you deal with when you decide that you want to deal with a Dame Dash. And I don't think it's no secret. I don't think that he's trying to be a secret about it. I think that that's exactly what it is that he's putting out, and he about that life.
Okay, so into the sports, we've talked a
All right, shout out to it is what it is, Cam and Mace, for that interesting take about Dame and Steve Stoute. I don't know, man. I just almost feel like we just too grown and we too old to still be dealing with the same stuff over and over and over and over again.